Welcome to the Art of Listening to Your Body podcast. My name is Jin Ong and I'm your host. I practice as an osteopath and psychosomatic therapist and am fascinated by the mind-body connection and how your physical body is a manifestation of your emotional state. I help people get unstuck from their chronic pain and live the life they want, grounded in values and driven by purpose. My aim is to create awareness to the underlying emotions behind pain, injury, and disease in the body. Join me to learn more about the story of your body, what different issues may indicate, how to release emotions so that you can prevent problems, as well as inspiring pain story interviews. Today I'm going to share a valuable exercise with you that I love to get my clients to work through, and it's something that I do myself on a regular basis. I see a lot of people with chronic pain, physical injuries, mental imbalances, illness, and disease states that don't respond to traditional therapies or conventional methods. And these people know that they have deeper emotions, a number of emotions from past experiences that are contributing to how they present. And they want to get a better understanding of this. They want to release it, or more importantly, process these emotions that they never knew how to at the time, and live life to their fullest. Now, I started off my professional career as a physical therapist, but I have become more and more hands-off over the years and learnt to facilitate pain relief and pain release through emotional release techniques. I'm always interested in how the body presents with its physical pain and its injuries, or where a disease state might manifest, because this gives me information as to what emotions this person may need help expressing. And so by identifying where someone's got pain or discomfort in their body, I'm able to bring awareness as to what emotions they may need to work on and process. Now, some people do come to see me and they have no physical pain or injury, and that's okay. Sometimes it's actually about that person being a little bit disconnected with their body and needing to create more awareness around how their issues do present. So normally going through the emotional release process, they will feel a lot stronger sensation in their body. Sometimes it becomes so normal that you don't know that the pain or dysfunction that you're feeling is actually not normal. Guys, I've shared a number of other exercises on this podcast that I get people to do. They're all very simple, but they're not easy. They can be very triggering. And the key thing is if the exercises resonate with you, you get a pen and paper out and you actually do them. And they may not be right the first time, but the most important thing is that you get started. So this exercise is all about what you want your life to look like in 7 years. And I reflected on this just recently because I'm about 6 years into a 7-year image, or what I wanted my life to look like in 7 years. And it's amazing to look back on where I was 6 and a bit years ago versus now. And a lot of the things that I wrote down, I didn't think were possible. But I was told that you can turn your life around in 7 years, and now I truly believe it. So just over 6 years ago, I was living in Melbourne with my husband, and we had a 6-week-old daughter. And my husband didn't have any work, and he didn't get any work for the first 6 months, which was a little bit of a stress in itself, because we were both the kind of people, me more so, that would just work and spend the money. I didn't have a secret stash of savings there. And one day he came home, and I think we had about $6,000 left in our bank account. And he had signed us up to this retreat that cost $6,000. And I burst into tears thinking, what the hell have you done? And just, I didn't know what to think. Like, why would he just be so ridiculous to go and spend $6,000 when he doesn't have work and I'm on maternity leave? And I wasn't getting maternity leave payments from the government because we had been living a very transient lifestyle between New Zealand and Australia. So we were in Australia at this time. Anyway, I came around and I said, well, if you think that you can make this $6,000 work for you and make more money from it, then I'm in. But it did involve me as well. And that was really the start, a really pivotal point in my journey to where I am now. And I've since refined this exercise for my clients, but all of the things that I put down around how I wanted my life to look like in 7 years has come to fruition, and a lot of it came true a lot sooner. So I really believe in the power of intention and the ability to manifest what it is you want. But you do have to get into a certain state, and it takes practice. So anyway, we spent that $6,000 and he went off and did the retreat, and it did involve me, but I wasn't ready to go because I had this young baby. And I think it was about 3 or 6 months later, I went up and I was just completely engrossed. And we invested a hell of a lot more money after that, money that we didn't have. But I am the kind of person that's determined to make things work, and I really wanted to make that money back. And it was really interesting because we made that investment, but I wasn't heading back to work for another year or so. Anyway, fast forward 6 years down the track now. So 6 years into my 7-year plan, as I said, a lot of those things have come to fruition. So owning 2 clinics and having an amazing team of osteos and chiro. And this dream, what I'm doing right now is I always wanted to talk more about psychosomatics, emotional anatomy, and how emotions manifest in our physical body. So I get to coach people on this now. I get to bring emotions into business, and I now get to train practitioners on understanding this work in a really simple way and bringing another level of depth to their consults. Anyway, let me share the exercise with you. So this is getting into your feminine space. I talk a lot about feminine and masculine. Most people in Western society are very in that driven masculine space. So the feminine space is about tapping into your creativity, your intuition, and your emotional expression. And some of that can be really difficult for you. But again, you practice and you will get better. So hope I'm not confusing you, but this stems a little bit off goal setting. If you wanted to go and grab the goal setting sheet in one of my previous podcasts, it'll give you some guidelines because I love to follow the 7 life areas. So the 7 life areas are health, family and relationships, business and career, finances, social, education, and spiritual. So you can write a story if you want, but if you find that difficult, you can just write dot points. But what you want to do is imagine where you are in 7 years' time. And you want to think it and you want to feel it and you want to embody it and feel the sensation in your body as you go through this process. So what I want you to think about is, what does your health look like in 7 years' time? And it's about how you want it to look. You might not be happy with how you are right now, but how do you want to look in 7 years' time? And it's really important the language that you use around this, that you speak or you write it down as if you already have it, as if you're telling someone that you met 7 years ago how amazing your life is. So you're going to talk about how healthy you are and really embody it. Then the next one is your family and relationships. Now, are you married? Are you divorced? Do you have kids? Do you have multiple kids? Are you fostering? Are you adopting? What is it that you desire in 7 years' time? Now, a lot of the time, remember, this will actually happen sooner, but you don't want to put yourself under too much pressure. So talk about your partner, how amazing they are, where you're living, how many kids you have, how many pets you have. Give them names. And again, think it, feel what it would feel like to have that. And speak it out loud as well as writing it. Then the next one is business and career. Now, if you're not happy with your career path at the moment, you can always take action and make a change. Again, it's simple, but it's not easy, like most of this stuff. But where do you see yourself? You might still be working for someone else. That's absolutely fine. Some people are just amazing in a support role, and that gives you a lot of fulfillment and satisfaction. Or maybe you desire to run your own business and put yourself out there in a different way. So if you were to take the action steps towards this, what business or career and how would you be expressing yourself? What would that business or career be? Now, the next one is finances, and I always find this interesting whenever I'm working with clients. Very rarely will they put a figure down. So, again, you might be happy with how much money you're earning, so put that figure down. But if you're not and you feel like you're struggling, how much would you need to live the life that you want and do all of these amazing things with your life? And actually put a figure down. It doesn't need to be exact, but just write the figure down. And this is really good for later, depending on what industry you're in. You can have that bigger goal and then you work backwards and you work out what you need to do to actually create that income. But most important, so many people have money blocks, is just write the number down. Then we go into education. So education or growth, this can be personal growth. This could actually be going back to study something. Now, growth is one of the 6 human needs. So the 6 human needs are certainty and variety, love and connection, growth and contribution. So if you're not constantly challenged to grow, life will get boring for you and it will get stagnant. So think about areas that you want to grow in or educate yourself. So just don't get caught up with education thinking that you have to go and study something. It can be personal development. And then your social structure. This is also something else that's really important. Who do you surround yourself with? Do they inspire and motivate you, or do they bring you down? And when you go on a personal growth journey and you learn to express more of yourself if you aren't doing this already, it can really challenge your relationships. And this can be one of the reasons why people hold back from expressing themselves fully, because they're worried about hurting people around them. And they have this fear about what will other people think about me. So know that as you express yourself, yes, some of your relationships will drop off, but trust that you will attract new people in your life that really resonate with your truth, how you express yourself, and they will support you. And then the final one is spiritual. So spiritual can mean many, many things. You just decide what your spiritual goals are. For some people, it could be that they meditate. For other people, it's that they feel connected to the universe. And for those who might be religious, is that they're connected to their God. But spirituality can mean whatever it is you want. So 7 life areas. In 7 years' time, write it down as if you are living the life that you really want. So the 7 life areas is health, family and relationships, business and career, finances, education, social, and spiritual. And I did cover this a few podcasts ago about how to set goals, and there is a worksheet there that you can grab that lays it out. But the goal setting was more about short term. So what do you want to achieve in a month? This is about dreaming really big. This is the bigger picture about how you want to live life. And so many people get stuck on this exercise. It doesn't matter if these things don't come true. Don't even get that far ahead. Just write the fairy tale, get into a creative and into a feminine space, and just get started with it. I recommend that this is an exercise that you revisit every 3 months until you start to feel like you're on a solid path. I review mine now every 6 to 12 months unless I have a big change in my life. But it doesn't have to be perfect. You get the opportunity to refine it. So don't get analysis paralysis. Just sit down, give yourself half an hour to an hour to work through this exercise. Write it down. Don't talk about anything you don't want. Language is so important. Write down what you want, speak it out loud, and pretend you're telling a friend what your life looks like in 7 years' time. You're catching up, you haven't seen them for years, and you're so excited to share with them how your life has changed. Embody it and feel the sensation in your body. So, write down what you want your life to look like in 7 years. You can include multiple areas, but the 7 life areas is a start. Thanks for learning with me on the Art of Listening to Your Body podcast. If you like what you've heard, I would love if you could rate, review, and share with your friends. You can find me on Facebook and Instagram. My handle is The Art of Listening to Your Body. You can join my free Facebook group where I go live regularly to teach you about different conditions and the deeper underlying emotions at play.